I know, and I was guilty of this too at the onset, when this all started, because again, back to your point of, we don't know, right? Like, we don't know how long this is going to last. We weren't really sure how to navigate this new world of being nowhere but home. And so I shared this with a couple of my other team members. We were all doing this, but one day was bleeding into the other, right? Like, it was very easy to stay up until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night with your laptop on your lap and Netflix on in the background, and then go to bed and get up, 8, 9, 10 the next morning and start it all over again. And that was almost on the edge of burnout, right? It wasn't that work was not being done. It was just, there was no clear kind of break of, okay, I'm going to put the laptop away, go off and read, or just play a game, whatever the case is. So walk us through what a remote working plan would look like.
Well, I grew up in a corporation where remote work was common, and some loved it and some hated it, but it was the product that we sold. I worked for a telecom. I worked for AT&T. We sold remote working, so it's common to me. But my thinking here is, many people today are doing remote work. They've never done it before. They don't know how. They don't understand how to communicate with someone when you can't just get up and walk next door and talk to them. And so I think if you are in an environment where that's the case, you need to talk about very practical things like that. Some may have never used Zoom or GoToMeeting or whatever the software is. So you might need to test that with them. Have a meeting where all you're going to do is test, help people understand what kind of lighting they need, and how to remove some distractions from the background. People don't think about that, and you wouldn't expect that they would. So I think number one, it's about talking about those practical things. But I think it's also, if we're not in the same building and you have a need to reach me, what's the best way to reach me? Is it to call me on the cell phone, or maybe text me first? Or maybe you're going to use a software like Slack or something like that, or a Facebook Messenger where you're all on a group chat. Work through that. Maybe try some different things to see what works best for the group. To me, that's the message you need to communicate. There's another message in this document that I think is related, and that is, when you have people working remotely, there are some of us who become mistrustful of those that we can't watch because we might be a micromanager. I'll admit I used to be one until I realized it's the worst way to lead.